everyone, welcome back to Mom Life and the Kiddos. This is mommymirjana here, and I want to welcome you to a fun video we have for you today in honor of Mother's Day. Yes, today's Mother's Day. A few of us moms got together here on YouTube, and we will each be giving a birth story for you. What a better day to give you a birth story, right? But anyway, this is a collaboration and it is hosted by the lovely Sarah from Foxy's Domestic Side. I will put her link, her channel link right down below in the description box, so make sure to check out her channel once you're finished watching the video, and also make sure to check out the playlist to see all the other birth stories that the other mom has shared with us. So with that being said, let's get into the birth story of my first child, Liana, who was born 4 years ago. And I do have to say right off the bat, it was extremely difficult, extremely. She was a 48-hour inducement at 42 weeks. So yeah, that kind of says it already, but I'll tell you much more in detail. So stay tuned for the rest of the video. So the way this story starts is at 41 weeks pregnant, I basically showed zero signs of labor. Zero. I was not dilated, the baby didn't drop, and yeah, nothing was happening. Nothing. So at the time I was in New York, and the hospital that I was going to basically allowed you to go to 42 weeks before you get induced. So lo and behold, 42 weeks came, which was a Saturday morning, and I still did not go into labor. So at 9 a.m. they put me in for an induction appointment at the hospital. I went in at 9 a.m. I got a room. They hooked me up to all the IVs and everything, which probably was a big mistake from the beginning, because imagine being hooked up to IVs for 48 hours. It's not good, okay? That's a lot of fluid going in you, which means a lot of swelling later. So they started by attempting to dilate me by using that medication that they put inside the cervix. They tried one round of that, and I believe you had to wait, if I remember correctly, 8 hours for it to work. The first round did not work. They tried again. They tried a second round. Second round did not work. Okay, so that right there alone was about 16 hours wasted that I was hooked up to an IV in the hospital waiting. Next, since the medication to dilate my cervix didn't work at all, what they decided to do was to attempt to break my water. Now, so actually, what did they do? No, sorry, let me go back. They gave me Pitocin. They were hoping that the Pitocin would induce and start labor and contractions, and then hence once the contractions that, you know, she would drop and that my water would break. That didn't work either, okay? So I was on the Pitocin, nothing was happening, she didn't drop, nothing, okay? So then next, they attempted to try to break my water manually. Yes, I said manually, okay? And I went through several different times of several different people attempting to break my water. Now, can you imagine you have this big belly and the baby has not dropped, and these people, several of them, I think there was about 4 of them that tried, attempted to reach their arm all the way in. Now, meanwhile, at the same time, I'm not dilated, which means I'm not open. And they have to go past that cervix to try to basically break the amniotic sac. It was excruciating. It was very excruciating. The first person couldn't do it. She tried a couple of times. Another person tried a couple of times. They claimed that they were going to go get a tool, like a special tool. So I thought it was like this little pick or something. They came back with like the lady in the department with like the tiniest hands. They found like literally the tiniest lady in the apartment that had the smallest hands that was able to reach up and break the fluid. So like I said, it's something that I don't want to remember in terms of how it felt because it was horrific. But you know what? After several tries, she was able to do it. So that's how my water broke. And then eventually, obviously, she started dropping. But I just really wasn't progressing the way I should be. So what happened was later that night, I forgot what time, I started running extremely high fevers. Extremely high. I remember telling the nurse in the room, I'm like, I'm freezing, okay? And the nurse was like, why? It's like 72 in the room. Why would you be freezing? I'm like, I don't know. And I was like shaking, like I don't know, like, but I'm so cold, I'm so cold. It turns out I was running an extremely high fever because now, if you think about all the hours, I'm already past 24 hours that I was hooked up. So, and then all the pressure and everything and the stress of them trying to break the what's it called, the sac and all that stuff, I just couldn't handle it. So, what happened after that, they ended up giving me, and I'm going to remember this clearly at the time, they gave me 6 Tylenols, like all at once, okay? That's how high my fever was, to bring it down, and the baby started getting stressed, and I remember begging the doctor for a C-section, and they refused. They refused to give me a C-section. So he basically said to me, you didn't come in here for a C-section, so you're not going to get a C-section. And we managed somehow to make it through the night, the second night now. Okay, so I went in Saturday morning at 9. I think I'm getting my hours mixed up. But basically, I did not deliver her until Monday morning at 9. So that's a full 48 hours that I went with this. Like I said, it was an inducement. It was at 42 weeks with 0 progress. So I would say that I had a very bad experience with it. It was extremely painful. If someone can choose to not be induced, which I don't know if you really have the choice, I just personally wouldn't recommend it. But yeah, so Monday morning at 9 a.m. on November 18th, 2013, I delivered Liana. So that's pretty much, you know, my story on how it all happened. I am going to put some pictures in here so you could take a look and see from the hospital. And oh, I forgot to mention, because I had that high fever, she had to stay in the NICU for 1 week after I delivered to be on medication. I guess they do it as some sort of precaution to prevent infection. So I actually left the hospital without her, which was heartbreaking. But I did go visit her every day and saw her on her little monitors and everything. You'll see a picture for that. And yeah, so it was definitely an experience. So I just want to say thank you guys for watching. Let me know down below in the comments what, you know, your birth story was with your children. Was it different? Did you have something similar? Did you have similar experiences? I'd love to hear your stories as well. So remember to hit that subscribe button down below if you are not yet subscribed, and we'll see you on the next video. See you soon.
Survive.